Whether you need to save money on groceries fast, like real fast, or your pantry is overloaded and the thought of using up overwhelms you. Today I've got practical tips on how you can shop your pantry, use up all the foods in there to save money on groceries and organize your kitchen. Welcome to Modern Frugality. I'm Jen. Thanks for joining me. I'm a personal finance writer by day, and now I make YouTube videos because I want to help people navigate what's going on financially. And I have a 10-month-old and I don't have enough to do, so I'm looking for new hobbies. If you're a subscriber, thanks so much for coming over and checking out this video. I am making a lot for the foreseeable future to help out with what's going on. So if you want more videos on how to spend better, save money, and recover financially, find financial security, then click the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of this video. It's free. Today I'm sharing 6 tips to help you shop your pantry and save money on groceries, especially if your cupboards look like a mini episode of Hoarders. I got this question from one of my newsletter subscribers. So if you've got questions and you want me to make a video on it, then hit up that link right there. And you can join my newsletter, and you'll also get a free 7-day no spend challenge. So right there, it'll be there the whole video. And stay tuned till the end because I'm gonna share the stuff in my pantry that I am planning to use up next week, because I might be making a video on it, but I am not immune to the pantry pileup. So I'm gonna give you real life examples of what's got lost in my pantry and how I'm using it. All right, let's break it down. Food waste is a huge problem in the US. The USDA estimates that 30 to 40% of food items go to waste. That's the equivalent of Americans wasting $165 billion a year in food waste. So this is a huge problem. Things pile up, get lost in our pantries, our cupboards, our fridges, and eventually they get thrown away. This isn't something that happens immediately, so we don't really see it. It happens over time, and we waste a ton of money this way. Before you start, there are a few things that you shouldn't shop from your pantry. The first is expired foods. If you've got stuff in there that's expired, go in, clean out your pantry, make sure you get out any expired foods, because with everything going on, botulism does not sound fun right now. Maybe another time. But get all those things out of there. And if you've got things that are about to expire or close to expiring, move those to the front so those can be some of the first things that you use up. The second is pantry staples, things that you're going to use regularly in your regular meal planning that you use very frequently throughout the week or month. If you're going to use those, it doesn't make sense to include them in your pantry clean out because you're just going to buy more of them. And really, we want to use up things that we're not going to buy more of. That's what's really going to save money. All right, now for the 6 strategies that will help you shop that pantry and clear it out. The first is to set up a time frame. So this is why pantry challenges are super popular. Pantry challenges allow you to go for 30 days, maybe 6 weeks or whatever, and you have a set start and end time. And so that helps you kind of wrap your brain around what you're doing. It doesn't feel like you're doing it indefinitely so that you just get discouraged and fall off. You have a cut start and end date so you know what's to come. And you can even plan it out so that you use everything, you know when you're going to use everything. Sometimes having an indefinite amount of time really doesn't work in our benefit. We think we're going to be able to get more done, but it is better for your psyche to have a set period of time. So it can be just a few weeks, it can be a few months. You decide what's right for you and your pantry. Second is to shop your fridge first. Look at the perishable items that you have that are going to perish RIP celery literally every time I buy it. Look at those things and move those to the front. That includes condiments, those long forgotten condiments that are just have piled up in your door and are now like in the back of the fridge. Yeah, pull those to the front and start to incorporate those in your meal planning. Again, if anything is expired, especially in here, toss it, clean it out, and then look at the things that are about to expire and really make those the priority in your weekly meal planning. The third is to just go with 3 or 4 items a week. Don't make every single meal part of the pantry challenge. You can, and that would be great, but you don't have to. You can balance recipes that use new ingredients with recipes that are incorporating old ingredients. So choose a few from the pantry, a few from the fridge, look at how those can combine with each other, and then look at how you can buy new ingredients to use up the old ones. Fourth is to don't use the fancy stuff first. So we all buy these really cool fancy spice packets or the cool things we're excited to use, but then just for some reason never use them. And then there are bags of ramen and weird spice packets in the back that you don't want to use. You actually don't know how you ended up with them in the first place. Don't use all the good stuff first and then leave the weird stuff to the end. Use a balance of both. So use a few of the new things, use a few of the cool things, and then balance that with one of the things that you're just I'm not sure how this is gonna be. So yeah, we're trying to avoid food waste. So you still want to try it out, maybe not on the whole meal, but just a little bit so that we don't end up making more food waste. But yeah, use your discretion on that one. Fifth is to shop your spices. People try and use up all these pantry items and they forget the spices languish. So in addition to using up these different sides and whatnot, incorporate spices before you buy new ones. Look at the ones you haven't used in a while. Again, check the expiration date, and then use the ones that you think are really cool, that you think will be tasty. I don't think we use enough spices in our cooking. I know my mom didn't. It was salt and pepper if we were lucky in a chicken voila. Do you remember chicken voila? Do they still make chicken voila? I don't know. But needless to say, there are a plethora of spices and they're probably in your pantry. You just bought them for one recipe and don't know how to reuse them. So look for recipes that you can reuse those spices with. And the sixth tip is to plan ahead. So say you have some cashews and you're gonna use half for a recipe this week, but you're still gonna have half left, and you never eat cashews, so they're gonna languish longer. Find another recipe that's a little different from the one you're using for this one so that you have that in your back pocket for next time. So you don't have to redo the research process of finding meals for your meal plan, because that in itself is a job. It's a chore, is finding recipes for your meal plan. So do it in batches and plan ahead for the next time you're going to use those cashews or whatever else you're using. So I know one of the things that I'm going to be using in my example, I'm going to be using this till I die, I think. There's 2. I think I'm going to be using 2 of these things till I die. So what are the things that I'm using? There's 3. I'm choosing 3. The first is a bag of 15 bean soup. Why I have this? Well, I thought I would need it, and I've never used it. So I'm going to be making a vegetarian 15 bean soup that I found on Budget Bites. I love Budget Bites website, and I'll post the link to it in the comments. But that is how because there's literally nothing else you can use for 15 beans. there's so many beans. The next is a spice, and it is turmeric. So I use curry powder. That I don't have a problem using up, but turmeric I made because I wanted to drink the golden milk. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I was not a fan. I really only drink coffee and water and whiskey, and those are my 3 things, and that's it. But I wanted to be cultured, and I couldn't. So now I'm figuring out ways to use turmeric powder, and I am going to make my own curry powder, or like a variation of it. I'm going to make a chicken curry with this, try to save my expensive curry powder, and just use the cheap turmeric. I might be using this the rest of my life. This is quite big. The last thing that I'm going to be using, and another thing I'll probably be using my whole life, is ground flaxseed. I bought it because I wanted to be healthy, and then I just decided not to be healthy. Just kidding. I don't make as many smoothies as I want to. But it's blueberry season here. So I am going to commit to putting my flax seeds, my milled flax seeds, in the smoothies, just in little small amounts, because if I put too much, then it makes it grainy, and that's a problem. So that is also why I'll probably be using this the rest of my life. But I'll still be using it until August 18th, 2020, at least, for sure, not the rest of my life. Leave me a comment with what you are using in your pantry this week, and if you have any cool recipes for it, because I'm sure there are other people with 15 bean soups languishing back in their pantry. You may not even know you have one. Everyone's got a 15 bean soup bag, but like, how do they get there? Nobody knows. But you can use it and make some soup, and I will post the link to my recipe that I'm using, and y'all post some recipes in the comments to help other people. And if you liked this video and you want more help with spending smarter, spending less, saving money on things, then hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to be putting out several videos a week moving forward to help people come back from financial crisis, save some money, and build a financial foundation and build on it.